as a company owner, you're given a lot of information, but it's not accurate. And so, like, for example, you'll be given like a bunch of statistics, but they can't really like tell you like what the statistics mean. And then if they do tell you, they skew it to their benefit. And so what my job is essentially to like help them make an educated decision so that their operations go smoother. But I really like helping small businesses because I like that I'm helping something where the money is going back into the community that it came from, instead of like, you know, huge conglomerates where like that money is not being reinvested in the communities. And it makes a big difference, right? Like there's so many huge conglomerates right now that are technically monopolies, and they have this like loophole where they just have subsidiaries under them. So they have smaller LLCs underneath the like mother LLC, and it protects them from liability, etc. And it's kind of fucked up if you think about it. Like monopolies are not technically legal, and yet we allow them all the time. I mean, if you think about like Fritos, like the Coke brand, whatever, Pepsi, like all of it comes from the same thing. And the reason this is so important, you guys, is because when we have these mass conglomerates, when let's say like Pepsi sets their pricing at $7 or let's say it's like $9 for a pack of like Pepsi Cola, they are then able to drive up their prices on Coke. And so like they're literally causing their own market inflation. You are literally experiencing higher prices for products, and they're doing it like they're literally doing it to you, which is crazy. That's crazy, right? Like it's crazy to me that like the amount that we spend on products literally at this point in our society has nothing to do with the actual physical cost of production or the value of the actual product. It's literally driven by the market, and if they set the market because they're setting the standard, then we're just paying for fucking air. We're literally paying for air. And what's crazy is like these big companies, like they don't give a fuck that like you're not, you know, making more money. Like, you know what's fucked up? Sorry, I'm just gonna go on like a little rant, but you know what's fucked up? When I was in property management in LA, you can raise rent by up to 10% per year. Who do you know that is getting a 10% increase per year on their freaking like job income? Like no one, right? We're getting like 1 to 2%. So how the fuck is that sustainable for anyone? And let's say you do get a bunch of promotions, you're still getting like fucked, because if your cost of living just went up by 10%, even if you got a fucking raise, you're still literally like behind. It's literally entrapment. Like they're entrapping us in this cycle of being fucking like worker bees. And it's really fucked up. It's all about financial education, exactly. Current inflation lower than real inflation. Yep. I mean, so when I was a property manager, we would literally, like for a new property, I would set the pricing. And do you want to know how the pricing was set? It wasn't set because of the materials that we used. It was set because of like, so the materials have like one factor. It's not the cost of the materials necessarily that I'm looking at. It's, okay, if I'm using these materials which are equitable to this building, which charges this much, and we have this many amenities and they have that many, you're essentially doing like a cost analysis for the difference in terms of like what is being offered. However, if they've set their pricing because of inflation in the market, then like it's literally like bullshit. Oh, Erin, every time I'm joining the stream, you talk about some different interesting stuff, like a good podcast. That's so sweet. Aliana, you're gorgeous, babe. Seriously. That's called capitalism. Okay, sure. So I'm all for capitalism. The issue is that currently we have a bunch of fucking monopolies that are controlling pretty much all of the world's wealth, and, or at least let's just talk about the US, all of the US's wealth. And that is literally, yeah. For one, it's not technically legal, but no one does anything because who has the money to stand up against these huge conglomerates? For two, they pretty much contribute and are part of slave labor through our fucking like prison system, which is also fucked up because if you think about that, our prison system literally pays for heads and beds. It's literally a business in and of itself. We have the highest recidivism rate in the world, which is insane. So like, if we want to honestly talk about like who gives a fuck about the people of America, like it's no one. Like no one gives a fuck about us. No one is looking out for us. And so that's why I really think like education is so fucking important. And it's not in like a what's it called? Conspiracy theory way. It's like, no, like really do your fucking research. Like what we had Victoria's Secret, we had Walmart, we had like so many of these huge companies using people that were in jail to essentially create free labor for themselves. And you know what's really fucked up? It's actually in the Constitution. It literally says that like if someone violates, if someone commits a crime, there's like literally a clause that allows free labor, which is slavery. It's really fucked up. So what? We essentially capture a bunch of minorities, which are actually like the least likely to commit crimes because actually it's white males between the ages of 35 to fucking 50 that are committing a lot of the crimes. We take a bunch of minorities who lack legal representation, who don't have access to, you know, education in terms of like professional advocacy and personal advocacy, and then we put them in these fucking like pretty much yeah, it's literally a legalized form of slave labor, and it's crazy. I mean, even think about all the people that like went to jail for fucking marijuana, and now it's totally decriminalized, and these people are still in fucking jail. It's like you are eroding these inner city communities. You're taking away their father figures. You're taking away a lot of the times even like the women, and you're wondering like why our society is in this fucking decrepit state. It's because none of us are taking care of each other. We're literally like all, yeah. Fuck, I have so many messages and I'm sorry guys. I could like really go on like a rant about this. Because it really bothers me. Like, are you financially free? I am financially free. I have my own company. I busted my fucking ass. Ron said then move to Haiti. Are you fucking stupid? Why would I move to Haiti? Like, a U.S. citizen should have the right, and I'm sorry, you guys, I'm just really passionate about this stuff. A U.S. citizen should have the right